Sure how far you've dove into ToastWeb, but this appointment is going to be comprised of going training on both ToastWeb or the website that we use for the back end, and then also the front end. Okay, like the Toast actual terminal and everything. So we'll be jumping back and forth between the two. I do have a little bit of a syllabus that I like to keep on hand. That'll we're going to make sure to hit every key point. So this is going to be your home page. Here you'll have on the left side what Toast calls the left rail. You can always, if you have a small screen or anything like that, you can always auto hide it, which is kind of handy so you're doing a lot of new edits. If and when you do add additional locations, you can always select locations by selecting your actual address, and you'll have a drop-down box for your locations. And then this setup checklist, this is gonna stay here until you kind of click through everything. Let's go ahead and maybe actually click through that we installed the hardware and just make sure that yes, perfect, fine. All right. Sometimes this one gives a little bit of an issue. Okay, so hardware. Just a heads up, you'll want to get with your onboarding consultant, Jake, to make sure you have digital menus set up. You want to have multiple menus. That way you can actually have different prices. Or if you do decide to go with the DoorDash integration, the Uber Eats and Grubhub integration, keep in mind these integrations from start to finish usually take 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, just because there's paperwork you sign with Toast. Toast then needs to have DoorDash authorize it and approve, and then they have to sign paperwork back to Toast. So it's kind of we wait for them a lot of times. So it does take, it's not a day one sort of integration. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you give yourself time on when those menus get built. Have Jake assist if need be, and then also for the time that it'll take to get your integrations implemented. Okay.
Okay.
Also, too, on the home page, we have, if you ever need help, this is one thing Toast does amazingly well, a lot better than a lot of other point of sales. I'll first start down here. You have the system status. You can see what's operational from either card processing, online ordering, the deposits, everything. You can actually even subscribe to these events as well, too. Say, you want to be subscribed when card processing goes down. You can have it either an email or a text be sent to you to just give you a heads up. Hey, there's an outage. Okay. Also, too, Toast Central is really, really handy. It literally is like Wikipedia, or a really great resource for Toast. If you ever have questions, say for instance, this is exactly where I'm sending a lot of those links. Like, I want to find a check. How do I do that? Oh, just start searching for it, and it's automatically gonna have a bunch of links for you how to find checks. And usually, when you're finding checks, you're issuing refunds. So, a lot of great, fast, easy access to these things. One more thing: if you ever need to re-go over any of these trainings, either for front of house or for manager training, you can actually go to these on-demand videos or help videos here. Okay, really nice and handy that these are always here. On your homepage, you're gonna have your metrics, a little bit of sales. You can see like net sales, either versus yesterday. Or you can edit the time filter and be like, oh, I can either see yesterday's sales versus maybe the same day last week. Okay, you can kind of change which criteria you're looking for there. Just keep in mind, on the home page, the data is about a half an hour behind. Okay, it's not live on the home page because it's putting it into graphs. It's pushing it through the interwebs. But when you go into reports or on device, those are pretty much up to the minute. Okay, let's go ahead. You can hear me, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just want to be sure. Let's go ahead and start ticking off how to onboard employees. Before we even dive into employees, let's talk about jobs. So we go to employees, and I went into jobs. So all these job roles are the permissions templates that you'll then attach employees to. It's easier to manage this way, and then that way, you don't have to go individual by individual employee, giving them which access. You can do that if need be, but it's not. We want to minimize as much management as possible. So let's go. You're not going to really have bartenders or barbacks, right?
No.
No, right? So yes, just clean this up a little bit. Definitely, I'm going to imagine you have cashiers. Are your cashiers going to be like, are you going to have a dedicated cashier and then baristas, or are they going to be kind of interchangeable?
General.
Okay, so somebody might be making drinks and they might be ringing in the order at the same time, right?
Yes.
Okay. We're not going to be doing servers, right? It's just counter service. There's not like tables or anything like that, right? Where the people take tabs and orders. No, right?
No.
And then no drivers?
No, right.
Okay. I'll leave these ones. No host. Runner. I'll leave the rest just in case you want to go through those, but let's save. Alright, that cleans that up. Let's go through the cashier. So what's great here, so you'll have your job title name, the code, either employee code or job code. This is just a optional correlation field. You can put anything in here you want. This can just potentially help you talk between your other third-party reporting software, like say QuickBooks or something like that. You can just put in a code that's going to help it transfer information between the two. Default pay, if you really want to get an accurate description of your hourly labor costs versus your net sales, the only way to kind of get this information is if you actually put in your default pay for your cashiers. Do you have one that you guys are? How much are they earning an hour right now?
Like night.
9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you could always change this if there is like a wage increase. I know a lot of states are moving towards increasing that minimum wage or whatever. You can even apply this pay on a certain date.
Okay, what about the tips? Like they have night plus the tip device for the ship.
Sure. So there's a couple ways we can do this, right? So we can either do a generic passcode, which is probably best because then you only have to run one shift review, and then that shift review is going to have them pull out the tips, right? So they can walk home without those tips. Now, are these tips are they walking home nightly or daily with these tips, or are they going on paycheck?
On paycheck.
Are they going on paycheck?
Okay.
So let me just really quickly jump over here. Options. Do two things here. Pay. Okay, so we're gonna pay out gratuities through payroll for both gratuity and non-cash tips like credit cards. Let's do this as well too. Let's do a lock check. So you guys count out the drawers twice a day, or just once?
I think it's twice.
Twice. Okay. So lock down. Alright, so we're gonna have it required. End of the shift. While I'm here, as far as tip percentages that are gonna be shown on that guest facing display, 22, 20, 15, or do you want to change these at all? These seem okay?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Just gonna make my screen a little bit bigger. So let's go ahead. We're gonna go then publish. So $9 an hour. Let's make this cashier. I got a better idea. Here's what we're gonna do. Since we're gonna go with an AM cashier and then a PM cashier. So I'm gonna add a job, create a new job, and this way they share the same passcode between everybody on that AM shift. They're gonna share a different passcode for the PM shift, and that way they only have to one checkout at the end of each shift. That'll save you time and overhead. And then they can pull out their tips at the end of the night there. So let's go to job title.